The photos on our mantle tell a story that no longer exists. 15 years captured in silver frames. Mara and me on our wedding day, her white dress billowing in the summer breeze. Us hiking in Yosemite during our 5th anniversary. The company Christmas party last year where her smile didn't quite reach her eyes. I stare at them from my recliner, a beer growing warm in my hand, wondering when exactly my wife became a stranger. A year ago, we were happy. At least I thought we were. We'd talk for hours about nothing and everything. We'd make love on Sunday mornings before breakfast. We'd plan vacations we couldn't afford but dreamed about anyway. Now our conversations are functional. Bills, schedules, whose turn it is to pick up milk. The bed feels cold, even when she's in it. I'm not blind. I see the way she pulls away when I touch her. I notice how her phone is always face down now, how she takes it to the bathroom, how it dings at odd hours. I hear the subtle changes in her voice when she talks about work. A little too animated, a little too detailed about projects, not enough about people. Except for Matthew Adams, her new department head, whose name comes up just often enough to seem deliberate. "You're working late again?" I ask on Tuesday night, grease still under my fingernails from my shift at the warehouse. 12 hours fixing conveyor belts and hydraulic lifts doesn't leave much energy for suspicion. But lately, it's been keeping me awake anyway. "The Franklin account," she responds, not looking up from her laptop. End of quarter push. I nod, though she isn't watching. Her hair is different, styled in a way she never bothered with when it was just me seeing her. Her perfume is stronger, too, applied mid-afternoon according to the scent trail that lingers when she comes home. On Thursday, she mentions girls' night with coworkers. I remember when I used to know her friends' names. Now they're just the team or people from work. When she returns at 11, her lips look freshly applied, and she heads straight for the shower. The breaking point comes on Friday morning as we move around each other in our familiar kitchen dance. Me making coffee, her preparing a smoothie before work. "I'm going shopping tomorrow," she says casually, dropping it between comments about the weather and a bill that needs paying. "Probably leave around 1. "The outlets?" I ask, watching her face. "Maybe. Or that new place by the mall," she answers, her voice too rehearsed, too casual. My gut clenches as I notice she can't quite meet my eyes. "Need anything?" she adds, already turning away. "No," I reply, and something in my tone makes her glance back. For a moment I see uncertainty in her eyes, maybe even guilt. Then it's gone, replaced by that polished stranger's smile. Saturday morning crawls by. I pretend to watch a game on TV while Mara moves around upstairs. When she finally comes down, my breath catches. She's wearing jeans that hug every curve, a silk blouse I bought her for her birthday, and makeup that belongs in a restaurant, not a shopping mall. "How do I look?" she asks, twirling slightly, like you're meeting a lover, not shopping bags, I think. "Nice," I say instead. When she kisses my cheek goodbye, her perfume is the expensive one she saves for special occasions. I watch through the window as she checks her reflection in the car mirror, adjusts her hair, and drives away. After she's gone, I climb the stairs to our bedroom. The hamper in the bathroom reveals what I already suspected. Her best lingerie missing, the matching set she hasn't worn for me in months. The same set she put on this morning for a shopping trip. I return to the living room to our wedding photos. I trace her face behind the glass, remembering how she looked at me then, like I was her whole world. When did I become an inconvenience? When did another man become her destination? That night, as Mara showers, I find her receipt from the gas station. Timestamp, 2:47 p.m. But she told me she was shopping from 1 das to 5 now. 4 hours and all she bought was gas? In bed, she keeps to her side, a gulf between us wider than the physical inches. I stare at the ceiling, listening to her breathing, not quite asleep but pretending to be. My wife has become a performance, a series of practiced lines and movements, and I'm finally ready to see the show for what it is. The mileage on Mara's car tells its own story. After her next shopping trip, I checked the odometer, 23 miles. The outlet mall is 32 miles round trip. The regular mall, 18. Her story doesn't add up, but the numbers do. She's going somewhere specific, somewhere she doesn't want me to know about. I start keeping a journal. Times she leaves, times she returns. What she says she's doing versus what the evidence suggests. The small inconsistencies build. She mentions buying a blouse I never see, talks about a sale at a store I later discover has been closed for renovation, returns with her hair slightly damp on a sunny day. How was shopping? I ask after her third Saturday trip. Good, she answers, arranging her face into that careful mask. The outlet mall was crowded, though. I nod, not mentioning that I drove by the outlet mall that morning. The main entrance was blocked off, construction equipment everywhere. A sign announced, "Closed for renovations until September." Either my wife has found a secret entrance, or she's lying about where she spends her Saturday afternoons. On Tuesday, I meet my buddy Tony for beers after work. He's a mechanic at the warehouse too, been my friend since high school. Mara? Yeah, I saw her car last weekend, he says when I casually mention her shopping habits. That silver Accord, right? It was parked near that strip mall by the office park. The one with the fancy coffee shop? My heart pounds. What time was this? Around 3? I was picking up Jen from her shift at the medical center, he explains, studying my face. Everything okay with you two? Yeah, I lie. Just trying to figure out where she found this shirt she bought. Wanted to get her another one. That night, I wait until Mara is asleep before checking her purse. There, tucked into a side pocket, is a business card. Matthew Adams, Department Head, Regional Operations. I remember him from last year's Christmas party. Tall, salt and pepper hair, the kind of confident smile that comes from knowing your year-end bonus could pay off my truck. He'd shaken my hand too firmly, eyes already moving past me to more important people. I take a photo of the card, then replace it exactly as I found it. Back in the living room, I pull up Facebook on my laptop. Matthew Adams's profile is mostly private, but his profile picture shows him on a boat, expensive sunglasses, no wedding ring. His job history matches what Mara told me. He transferred from the Chicago office about 14 months ago. LinkedIn tells me more. Graduated from Northwestern, former consulting firm partner. Joined Mara's company as part of a senior leadership restructuring. Posted an article last month about mentoring talent in the organization. The comments include one from Mara. Great insights as always. So grateful for your leadership. 3 months ago, she'd never mentioned his name. I dig deeper. Instagram shows check-ins at a high-end restaurant downtown every Friday night. A review he left for a small hotel near the strip mall Tony mentioned. Discreet professional service. Perfect for business meetings. The pieces click together, the picture they form making me sick. Wednesday morning, I call in a favor with my shift supervisor. Need to leave early on Saturday, I tell him. Doctor's appointment. Everything okay? He inquires. Just a checkup, I assure him. Been putting it off too long? That night, Mara mentions another shopping trip. Thought I might check out those new stores by the interstate, she says while loading the dishwasher. Find anything good last time? I ask, keeping my voice neutral. Just some work clothes, she answers, suddenly very interested in arranging the silverware. Nothing exciting. I watch her hands. The wedding ring I saved 3 months to buy. The manicure she didn't have when we met. When she was a receptionist with ambition, and I was a mechanic with dreams of our own garage someday. We built this life together, brick by brick. Now she's dismantling it, thinking I'm too stupid to notice the missing pieces. Friday night, I prepare. I charge my phone, check that it has enough storage. I plan my route, where I'll park, what I'll do if I'm wrong, and what I'll do if I'm right. I lie awake beside Mara, studying her profile in the darkness, trying to reconcile the woman I married with the one who might be betraying me. In the morning, she's especially affectionate. A kiss that lingers. A touch on my arm, overcompensating, easing her guilt. I might be late, she mentions. There's a sale at Nordstrom, I nod. Take your time. As I watched Mara get ready for another shopping trip, I felt my wedding ring heavy on my finger. By tomorrow night, I'd either be apologizing for my paranoia, or I'd know exactly what kind of man I'd become. Saturday, 1:35 p.m. I'm parked on a side street with clear sightlines to the strip mall. My hands sweating on the steering wheel despite the AC. I've been here 20 minutes. Arrived early to secure this spot, close enough to see everything, far enough to remain invisible. The strip mall looks upscale. Coffee shop, day spa, boutique clothing store, and at the far end, the Lakeside Inn with its discreet entrance and tinted windows. The kind of place that charges by the hour but calls itself a business hotel. My stomach churns as I scan the parking lot, finding what I'm looking for. A black BMW parked near the back entrance to the hotel. Matthew Adams's car, according to his Facebook photos. He's already here, waiting. At 1:42, Mara's silver Accord pulls into the lot. I lift the binoculars I borrowed from Tony's hunting gear, focusing as she parks 3 spaces away from the BMW. She checks her makeup in the rearview mirror, applies fresh lipstick, then reaches into the back seat for her purse. No shopping bags, no pretense. Matthew emerges from the side entrance wearing khakis and a polo shirt, casual but expensive. He looks around, a quick, practiced sweep, before approaching Mara's car. My wife steps out and they don't embrace, not immediately. They're cautious, at least. But then she looks around too, and satisfied they're unobserved, she reaches for him. Their kiss isn't quick. It's not a greeting. It's hungry, familiar, the kiss of lovers who know each other's bodies. His hands move to her waist, then lower. She presses against him, head tilted back, offering her neck to his mouth. Something cold settles in my chest. Not just shock or heartbreak, but a strange, detached clarity. I've suspected for weeks, but seeing it, the physical reality of my wife in another man's arms, transforms theory into undeniable fact. They separate, and Matthew takes her hand, leading her toward the hotel entrance. But they don't make it inside. Halfway there, he pushes her against his BMW, his hand sliding up her silk blouse. She laughs, a sound I haven't heard in months, and opens the car's back door. What happens next makes my blood freeze. My wife, my Mara, glances around once more, then begins unbuttoning her blouse right there in the parking lot. Beneath it is the lingerie I knew she'd chosen this morning, deep red against her skin. Matthew stares hungry as she slides into his back seat, beckoning him to follow. I'm moving before I realize it, phone in hand, video recording. I approach from the blind side of the car, my footsteps silent on the asphalt. The BMW's windows are already fogging, the vehicle rocking slightly. I circle to the far side, finding an angle that captures everything. Their faces, the license plate, the hotel entrance in the background. Proof that can't be denied or explained away. Through the window I see them. My wife, mostly undressed now, straddling Matthew Adams. Her head thrown back, her expression one I haven't seen directed at me in longer than I can remember. His hands on her body, my wife's body, possessive and familiar in ways that tell me this isn't their first time. Not even close. I film for 3 minutes, though it feels like hours. Every second is another nail in the coffin of my marriage, another confirmation that the life I thought we had was a fiction. When I have enough, more than enough, I step back, considering my options. I could confront them now. Throw open the door, create a scene, let rage take over. Part of me wants that. The primal satisfaction of catching them in the act, of seeing the terror in their eyes. But something colder, more calculated has taken control. This isn't about a moment of satisfaction. This is about consequences. So I wait, recording as they finish, as they adjust clothing, as they exchange words I can't hear but can imagine, promises of next time, inside jokes, the intimate language of an affair. I wait until they're about to separate, when Matthew has stepped out of the car and Mara is buttoning her blouse, her back to the window. That's when I move, pulling open the driver's side door. Mara screams, a short, startled sound that cuts off when she sees me. Matthew freezes, one hand on his belt, the other reaching instinctively for a phone that isn't there. "David," Mara whispers, her face draining of color. "What are you—" "Don't," I interrupt, my voice unnaturally calm as I hold up my phone, still recording. "Don't insult me by pretending this isn't exactly what it looks like." Matthew recovers first, stepping forward with his hands raised. "Listen, man, I know this seems bad." "Seems?" I laugh, the sound alien even to my own ears. "It doesn't seem like anything. It is what it is. You f***ing my wife in a parking lot on Saturday afternoon." Mara is crying now, mascara tracking down her cheeks. "David, please, it didn't mean anything." She pleads. "Didn't mean anything?" I repeat, zooming the camera in on her face. "How long, Mara? How many Saturdays? How many shopping trips and girls' nights were actually spent with him?" She can't answer, her mouth opening and closing. Matthew tries again, his corporate conflict resolution training kicking in. "David, right? Look, we can talk about this like adults." No need to make a scene, he suggests smoothly. A scene? I step closer, making sure the camera captures his face clearly. No, Matthew. A scene would be me dragging you out of that car and beating you until you can't stand. A scene would be me breaking every window of your overpriced BMW. This, I gesture with the phone, this is just documentation. Mara finally finds her voice. What are you going to do? She asks fearfully. The question hangs between us. What am I going to do? In this moment, with adrenaline coursing through me, with 15 years of marriage dissolving before my eyes, what kind of man will I choose to be? I'm going to leave, I announce finally. And you're going to finish buttoning your blouse, and you're going to think very carefully about what happens next. I back away, still filming. Matthew looks relieved. He thinks this is over, that I'm walking away. Mara knows better. She sees something in my eyes that terrifies her. David, wait, she calls, stumbling out of the car. Please, we need to talk about this. We're past talking, I state firmly. Way past. As I walk to my truck, my hands are steady. The rage I expected isn't there, just cold purpose. As I uploaded the video to 3 different cloud accounts, I realized I wasn't just saving evidence, I was weaponizing it. Tomorrow, everyone would know what I knew today. I don't go home immediately. Can't face those walls, those photos, that bed. Instead, I drive to Mike Caldwell's office downtown. Mike's been my buddy since high school, worked his way through law school at night, now runs a small practice handling divorces and real estate. He's closed on Saturdays, but he answers when I call. Jesus, David, he says, staring at my phone screen as the video plays. This is definitive. That's one word for it, I respond. His office is quiet, just the hum of the air conditioning and the muffled sounds from my phone. My wife's voice, another man's groans. Mike watches without expression, lawyer mode engaged. Michigan's a no-fault state, he explains when it ends. But this, he taps the phone. This changes the financial picture considerably. Adultery affects alimony, property division. With this evidence, she'll get nothing she's not legally entitled to. Maybe less. How fast can you draw up papers? I ask. Mike studies my face. You're sure? No cooling off period, no conversations? I watched my wife with another man in a parking lot today, I state flatly. I'm done talking. 3 hours later, I have divorce papers in a manila envelope and a plan taking shape. Mike's warned me about certain lines not to cross, legal boundaries that could backfire, but otherwise, he's with me. Make her famous, he said as I left his office. I stop at Best Buy, purchase an external hard drive, and back up the video in triplicate. At a coffee shop with free Wi-Fi, I create new email accounts, new social media profiles. I trim the video, editing it to remove the most explicit content while keeping the identities clear, the location obvious, the betrayal undeniable. Legal but devastating. By evening, I've sent the edited video to everyone in our contact lists, family members, friends, co-workers. I've posted it to community Facebook groups, local forums. I've sent it directly to Matthew's boss, to Mara's HR department, to the partners at their firm. I've labeled it clearly. Matthew Adams and Mara Miller, Saturday afternoon at Lakeside Inn. Then I drive home and change the locks. The hardware store guy didn't ask questions when I bought new deadbolts. I'm nearly finished installing them when my phone explodes with notifications. The video is spreading faster than I expected. Mara calls 17 times in 30 minutes. I don't answer. Her texts grow increasingly frantic. David, please pick up. I can explain. People are calling me, OMG, what have you done? Answer your phone. My boss just called me. David, this will ruin everything. At 7:43 p.m., her car screeches into the driveway. I'm sitting in the kitchen, divorce papers on the table, when she pounds on the front door. David, open this door right now. Her voice is shrill, panicked. The lock is changed? Are you kidding me? I approach the door but don't open it. The papers have been filed, I inform her through the wood. Your copies are in an envelope on the porch. Papers? What papers? More pounding. David, do you know what you've done? Everyone's seen it. My sister, my parents, everyone at work. She cries out. Yes, I acknowledge simply. Everyone. She's crying now, her words dissolving into sobs. Please, David, it was a mistake. It didn't mean anything. It was just in a parking lot. I finish for her. Yeah, I saw that part. Let me in. We need to talk about this, she begs. There's nothing to talk about. You've been having intimacy with your boss for months, lying to my face, making me feel crazy for suspecting. It's over, Mara, I state coldly. Her tone changes, anger replacing desperation. You'll regret this. Sending that video to everyone? I could sue you, she threatens. For what? Sharing a video I legally filmed in a public place? You have no expectation of privacy in a parking lot. Mike says your case would get thrown out before it reached a judge. I counter. The mention of my lawyer silences her temporarily. When she speaks again, her voice is lower, calculated. What do you want? Money? The house? Just tell me what you want to take this down. She negotiates. I want you to understand that actions have consequences, I explain. I want you to feel what I felt today, watching my life collapse. I want you to know what it's like when everyone sees who you really are. Her phone rings. She answers it, her voice instantly professional despite her tears. Yes, sir. I understand. No, yes, Monday morning. Thank you. She hangs up and the pounding resumes, more desperate. They've suspended me, pending an investigation. David, this is my career, she wails. Should have thought about that before the department head in company time, I reply coldly. Another call interrupts her response. Matthew this time, from the fragments I can hear. Something about his wife, about damage control, about lawyers. Mara paces the porch, her shadow visible through the sidelight windows. He's blaming me, she reports when she returns to the door. Says I pursued him. David, he's lying. He pressured me, said it would help my career. It wasn't my fault. Funny, you didn't look pressured in that video, I observe. You looked pretty enthusiastic, actually. More crying, more pleading. Eventually, her sister arrives to pick her up. Through the window, I watch Mara collapse into Janet's arms, playing the victim. Janet glares at the house, at me, as she leads Mara to her car. My phone buzzes with a text from Tony. Holy shit, man. Just saw the video. You okay? Another from Mike. Client called. Matthew Adams' wife just filed for divorce. You've started a nuclear chain reaction. I pour myself a whiskey and sit in the silent house, waiting for regret or guilt or grief. They don't come. Instead, there's a cold satisfaction as notifications continue to ping. People expressing shock, offering support, sharing the video further. By morning, Mara and Matthew will be infamous in our community. Their reputations, their careers, their relationships, all destroyed by their own actions and my decision to expose them. Mara sent one final text before midnight. Please, David. I'll do anything. I deleted it without reading it twice. Some words come too late to matter. 6 months passed like a strange dream. The divorce finalized faster than expected. Mara didn't contest anything after the video went viral. She couldn't afford to draw more attention to herself. I kept the house, most of our savings, even the dog she'd claimed to love but never walked. Spring has arrived, bringing with it a sense of renewal that feels appropriate. I'm drinking coffee on the back deck, watching birds at the feeder when Tony calls. Heard Mara's living with her sister in Columbus now, he says without preamble. Couldn't get hired anywhere in town. Not surprised, I reply. I haven't kept tabs on her deliberately, but news travels. Our small community has a long memory. Matthew Adams lost that custody battle, Tony continues. Ex-wife got the kids, the house, the majority of assets. Turns out the judge was in that church group you sent the video to. I don't respond to that. I never targeted Matthew's children specifically, made sure the video I circulated wasn't explicit enough to traumatize anyone, but I didn't protect him from consequences either. You ever regret it? Tony asks after a moment. How public you made it? I consider the question honestly. No, I answer finally. Cheating thrives in secrecy. They were careful, calculated. They counted on my silence, my shame. Why should I have been the only one carrying that burden? After we hang up, I walk through the house. I've repainted, rearranged furniture, replaced the mattress. The wedding photos are gone, though I've kept a few older pictures. Mara and me before we were married, when what we had was real. They're in a box in the attic now, a time capsule of a different life. Some friends thought I went too far. My mother said forgiveness would have freed me faster. Maybe they're right. But mercy felt like permission, like telling Mara and Matthew that what they did wasn't so bad, wasn't worth consequences. I couldn't do that. I'm dating again, casually. Lisa from the accounting firm down the street. We take it slow, have dinner once a week. She knows my story, everyone does, but doesn't define me by it. When she asks if I miss Mara, I tell her the truth. I miss who I thought she was, not who she turned out to be. At work, I've been promoted to floor supervisor. The warehouse runs smoother under my management. I have an eye for systems now, for the small details that reveal larger truths. My team respects me. Life continues. Sometimes I think about that parking lot, about the moment everything changed. Not the that was just evidence, but the moment I decided what kind of man I would be. Not a fool, not a victim. Not someone who could be lied to and manipulated without consequence. In my garage, I'm rebuilding a '67 Mustang, something I've wanted to do for years. My hands are steady as I install a new carburetor, the engine taking shape piece by piece. There's honesty in mechanical work. Parts either fit or they don't, systems either function or fail. No deception, no pretense. Last week, I deleted the video from my phone, not out of forgiveness, but because I didn't need it anymore. The truth had done its work, and I was free to build something real again. The sun sets over the backyard as I finish my coffee. Tomorrow is just another day. Work, dinner with Lisa, maybe progress on the Mustang. Simple things, honest things. In the end, that's what remains when everything false has been stripped away. The quiet dignity of a life lived truthfully, whatever that truth may be. And that's the end of today's story. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a thumbs up and drop a comment below. Your support helps the algorithm push my content further. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It really helps me keep creating more stories for you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.